I've got some bad news. It broke down. The Beetle Man here, and this is not a video I was expecting to do. It's quite unexpected, but I'm here to tell you all about it. But the bad news is, my Beetle broke down in such a way that I can't drive it anymore. At least not for now. Now let's go ahead and head into the studio so that you can get better audio experience and better visual experience. So I can tell you all that happened. But it's fair to say I'm pretty sad. Okay, here we are in my studio. I can take these off. Now let's talk about my Beetle and my experience. It has broken down, and up to a point where I can't run it, at least for now. It seems to be quite bad, as you can see in these pictures. Yeah, it bled. It's pretty bad. On a couple days ago, I took a trip, and I had one of the most wonderful trips with mom and my brother. Beautiful sceneries on my country, amazing roads, no potholes. It really was such a fun drive. We eventually stopped at a Walmart, and then we wanted to go get a snack somewhere on a fast food restaurant, and that's where the trouble began. I noticed that all of a sudden I lost power steering. Like the steering wheel felt heavy and it would like bump. It wasn't rolling as smooth. And then when I parked, I noticed something was loose in the engine. It sounded loose, and it sounded from the inside. Here I thought that the timing chain was starting to give out. But then it got worse, and I immediately turned it off. I thank God that my brother was thirsty and wanted to grab a snack, because then this would have given out on a highway. I went ahead and checked the engine. It was a little bit low on oil, so I put some oil back in. And I had, I always carry some extra oil in the boot just in case. And then when I turned it over, it just wouldn't do it. I thought the engine had ceased, but then something clanked out of position. The engine started, but it was running like at 500 RPMs. And then the bloodbath happened. The whole floor started just seeping out some oil of some kind, as you can see in this picture. And I could see the drip coming from the engine bay, and I thought the engine just died at this point. So, we just sat down, we went ahead to eat, and we called a crane. And 30 minutes after I poured the oil, I went ahead and checked the engine again and checked the oil levels, because if I could find some forbidden pixie dust, then that would mean that my engine just seized, But to my surprise, I found out that the engine still had oil, and it was well oiled. And then I went ahead and took a good look at the fluid, and it turned out to be another type of fluid. I went ahead and went to a source of knowledge, which is the communities on the internet. And I suggest r/Volkswagen on Reddit, and I can also suggest Facebook groups like New Beetle groups, or even Golf GTI, but they're not going to be very welcoming of a Beetle, because it's not in itself a GTI, despite having most of the mechanical parts being the same. So I suggest that if you have any trouble, you go to r/Volkswagen on Reddit. It's worth making an account there, because there are a lot of people that know even much more than me, and even some apprentice from the VW dealers that can help you out with some knowledge. But I went ahead and asked there, and some suspected that it was brake fluid, others suspected that it might have been engine oil, the coolant was full, the brake fluid was full, and eventually I got to the suspicion that this was dual clutch transmission fluid, DSG fluid, and there was nothing else I could do. And that's when I thought that maybe the dual mass flywheel gave out. It was not fun. And then we waited, and the thing just kept leaking at a fast pace, and I just left it there on park. Thankfully, I was not running the transmission when this gave out, so I still have some hope that the transmission is okay, but I do not know. And then we went ahead and towed it. I didn't have this part, which when I bought the car, it didn't came with it. So I took the risk and had it towed from somewhere else. I just hope that isn't damaged as well. And I know it's a material thing. It can be replaced, and it won't last forever, and it can be repaired. I'm well aware of that, but I'm still pretty sad because it has broken down. On top of this, the Beetle is my dream car. It's a poor man's Porsche. It's at times even called a Porsche because of that. It has a dual clutch transmission, DSG, which is a transmission I envisioned of as a child. You know, since manual transmissions are so reliable, why not just take in a manual transmission and just put a robotic arm to control it? And that is to an extent what the DSG is.
And it's that fast because it's got a very clever gearbox. It's called a...
Can we get it on the speaker? Oh, so many Germans here.
That's a long word.
That is a...
And on top of that, the engine is fantastic, the ride is amazing, and I have a story which I'm gonna have to make another video about. This is the car that got me out of my fear of driving. But however, this is not the end, because I will do repairs and I'll try to get my mechanic to repair this thing. That's why I'm also making this video, so that you guys can join me on my journey to repair my Beetle, and as well learn some advice and some tips and tricks that I do to not only give these cars their proper maintenance, but also find the right people, get recommendations, and as well find some affordable parts that can be affordable, contrary to others. So join me in the next part, where I'm going to bring you guys to find that metal hook that is missing for my Beetle, so I can properly take it to my mechanic, because I don't want to risk any more damage. That is the next part of this journey. This has been part 1, which is the pre-diagnosis. And I suspect that the flywheel gave out, and I'm just hoping and praying to God that nothing else went wrong besides that. But this is also your call to, if you have a DSG, you can see it on the lever of your Beetle, and you notice it vibrating when it's inching, or you hear like a brrrr when it's inching. This is your call to action to start searching for replacing those. And those are not cheap, but it's better to replace those than have to go through what I'm going through right now. But I hope that this video and this video series as well is useful to you, and I'll continue making some more Beetle news content so that you guys can watch. But for the next part, join me, where I'm going to be going through different stores and places to find this metal part, because it shouldn't be that hard, but it's surprisingly hard on where I live, and you're going to see why in that next video. So be sure to like and subscribe so that we can get that Beetle back on the road, and I can continue bringing more Beetle focused content to all of you. I appreciate so much your help. If you watched all the way to the end, it means the world, and it helps in such a way that it's going to get me closer to getting this Beetle back on the road, and also helping you guys out even more. So this has been the Beetle Man. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for the next episodes that I'll be doing on this Beetle repair journey, and I hope you don't have to go through this that I'm going through. Take care, guys. See you later. The Beetle Man here. The Beetle Man here, and the Beetle Man here, and today I'm here with some sad and unexpected news, and it's that, let me see if I can get a little better. These are my suspicions. I still haven't taken it to my mechanic. Okay, that's over a very recording. Okay, let's start this thing over. Okay, this is take 3. At least it got me some time to be prepared. I suspected the fly. Oh, I forgot to set up It's my first time doing one of these. It's like take 4 already. Not counting those that I did outside. I forgot lighting. I forgot to put up a sign. And there's noise outside. I just hope I can block it out. And I wonder if it's looking good. Okay, one more time. Okay, here we... This is nuts. This is like the 6th take, okay? I'm gonna have to do some better efforts to do this right.